Hello everyone, Joel here. If you love getting completely lost but also want to obsess over complex stat builds, we are looking at the ultimate marriage of RPGs and Metroidvanias. Let's get into it. Let's dive straight into Mandragora, Whispers of the Witch Tree. Released in mid-2025, this 2.5D dark fantasy acid trip features humanity hiding behind walls of sheer ignorance, which sounds exactly like my ex during a budget argument. The selling point here is the crazy deep class customization mixed with punishing melee combat. You're navigating a world plagued by entropy, making it a perfect depressing playground for masochists who crave pure role-playing depth. Speaking of masochism, let's slide smoothly into GRIME 2. This bad boy just dropped in March 2026, and Lord, it is beautifully unhinged. This sequel lets you play as a shape-shifting thief who absorbs enemies to summon molds of them. It's the gaming equivalent of You Are What You Eat, which is terrifying because I mostly ingest trash. The combat heavily relies on precise, sexy parries that give a massive dopamine hit. It's a surreal masterclass in body horror and deep stat progression for anyone who likes exploration with a side of rock-hard difficulty.
Falsely claiming salvation, and those who defy this deity suffer.
Moving along to something more gothic, The Last Faith is what happens when Bloodborne and Castlevania have a passionate, unprotected one-night stand. The game doesn't just borrow from the Soulsborne genre, it steals its clothes and moves into its apartment. You get a massive arsenal of gothic melee weapons, firearms, and arcane spells, creating an absolute blender of death. The main selling point is definitely the satisfyingly gory executions that will honestly make you feel things down there. For exploration fans, it seamlessly blends dark fantasy RPG build freedom with incredibly tight looping platforming navigation. Now, if you want your soul crushed by pure sadness instead of gore, let's transition over to Ender LILIES. You play as Lily, a fragile little priestess who doesn't actually attack anyone herself. Instead, she summons the spirits of purified knights to do her dirty work, which is honestly the kind of management style I desperately aspire to have. It's a brilliant RPG because instead of upgrading basic swords, you customize a complex loadout of undead spirit powers. The hauntingly beautiful soundtrack will make you weep while you meticulously optimize your builds to survive brutal boss fights. Before we continue the video, I want to inform you that right now, there are tons of crazy deals in instant gaming, especially if you love RPG games. Remember how expensive modern gaming lately? Well, not anymore, since you can get so many amazing titles with crazy discounts in instant gaming. Can you believe that just with $10 or even less than $5, you can enjoy one of the best gaming experiences in your life? Just look at these titles. It used to cost like $30 or even more than $40. And to make things even crazier, some games even drop so far to just $1. If you're a smart guy, you know what you have to do. All you have to do is just click my link in the description below, start searching for your favorite games, and use the activation code on your chosen platform. By using my link, you're not only saving tons of money, but also helping me to support this channel. Alright then, let's get back into the list. If you prefer your action with more swagger and a lot more Igavania DNA, you must check out Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Created by Koji Igarashi himself, this is the literal spiritual successor to Symphony of the Night. It completely embraces the campy, dramatic gothic vibe. You play as Miriam, absorbing monster shards like a vacuum cleaner on steroids. The RPG elements here are staggering. You change outfits, grind for absurd weapon drops, and cook food for permanent stat buffs. It's pure comfort food for old-school fans who love deep build customization and whipping giant floating heads. What if you want a side-scroller that openly mocks you? That's where Death's Gambit Afterlife steps in. You play as Death's immortal enforcer, and let me tell you, Death is a toxic boss who will literally roast your life choices every single time you die. The Afterlife expansion completely overhauled this game into an RPG masterpiece, adding over 100 talent tree nodes and multiple classes. You can dual-wield giant swords or cast spells while flying around. The selling point is its brilliant blend of comedic meta-narrative with intensely deep, rewarding exploration. Let's pivot to something wildly unique now. Imagine if Pokemon and Symphony of the Night had a genius baby. That's Monster Sanctuary. Instead of just swinging a sword, you collect and hatch wild monsters to fight in deep 3 vs 3 turn-based tactical RPG battles. But here's the kicker. Your monsters also have unique exploration abilities, like flying you across gaps or smashing walls to open up classic Metroidvania shortcuts. Each creature has a massive skill tree allowing for insane team synergy. It completely redefines the genre, turning map exploration into a glorious, addicting puzzle of creature optimization. Following up on our favorite spirit summoning priestess, we smoothly glide into its incredible sequel, Ender Magnolia. Having launched its full 1.0 version in early 2025, this game expands the universe into a gorgeous post-apocalyptic steampunk setting. This time you're tuning and commanding homunculi artificial life forms. It takes everything that made the first game great and injects it with faster, tighter combat and an even larger world to map out. The RPG progression feels incredibly rewarding as you liberate and customize these tragic mechanical companions, making it a mandatory play for peak emotional damage. Now, if you want something that feels like a gritty, hand-drawn punch to the gut, Salt and Sanctuary is the undisputed king of 2D Souls-likes. It strips away all the colorful anime fluff and plunges you into a bleak, brutal island. The skill tree in this game is so ridiculously massive it looks like a literal constellation, allowing you to build anything from a naked rolling giant hammer enthusiast to a squishy glass cannon mage. It perfectly captures that classic Metroidvania feeling of unlocking a secret shortcut and realizing you've looped all the way back to safety. Of course, we cannot talk about this genre hybrid without bending the knee to the absolute royalty, the Castlevania series. This legendary franchise literally put the Vania in the name, defining the formula of locked doors, hidden breakable walls, and leveling up your stats by killing Dracula's pets, and the hype train isn't stopping, with Konami officially unveiling Castlevania Belmont's Curse in 2026, developed alongside the legends at Evil Empire. We are getting a brand new 2D action exploration masterpiece later this year. It's the ultimate proof that old-school RPG Metroidvania designs never truly die. They just wait for a good resurrection. Finally, let's talk about a game that defies all logic and explanation, ASTLIBRA Revision. This absolute masterpiece was solo developed over 14 years, which is longer than most modern marriages last. Visually, it looks like a janky early 2000s Flash game, but mechanically, it is pure unfiltered crack. The action RPG combat is blazing fast, and the progression systems are layered like a giant chaotic onion, featuring skill trees, equipment mastering, and stat boards. It marries side-scrolling exploration with an epic mind-bending anime time travel plot that will genuinely leave your jaw on the floor. It is the definition of a hidden masterpiece.